Once upon a time, a conversation between a time traveler and a knight occurred. It was a warm and sunny day, with the sky and the earth painted in rich blues and greens. It had been some time since they last saw each other, so catching up was on the agenda. But any catching up was momentarily paused when the time traveler raised up something in his hand excitedly. It was very obvious that he wanted to show this off to the knight. "What's this small one?" asked the knight, looking a bit wary. It looked like a rectangle of melted metal, but it was too small and thin and strangely shaped. Could it be a magical tablet inscribed with an unknown language? Could it be the key to unlocking ancient secrets? "Ah, it's a cell phone," answered the time traveler, very excited to show it off. It was a purchase ordinary to most, but for the people of the past it was extraordinary, and possibly dangerous. You brought this from another world?" the knight replied. On most occasions, the time traveler would always bring him strange objects from different times and worlds. Being a curious warrior, the knight would ask for further clarification and questions about the history and origin, but the time traveler didn't have a long enough attention span for that, so any questions were often answered later. Yes, let's take a selfie, okay?" said the time traveler, wanting to document the moment. He wanted to show off to all his other time travelers that he had actually made a friend. In the company of time travelers, friends were difficult to make. It was a persistent problem for most time adventurers, since they were always traveling and often never in the same place for more than a week. However, this location was taking longer than usual, so he wanted to take some selfies. Selfie? Will it take my soul? The knight wasn't a fan of that word. It sounded like dark magic. "No, you silly goose. Now, hold the camera a little lower, okay?" As they took the photo, the knight felt a bit silly. The time traveler hadn't explained much, so the knight didn't really understand the concept of a selfie, never mind a cell phone. Wondering what was actually going to happen, the knight drew up a battle plan in his head. At the smallest hint of dark magic, he would put his hand on the sword and deal with it then. Protecting the time traveler and the citizens of the land was his priority. As the time traveler finished taking selfies, the knight noticed nothing happened and let out a sigh of relief. In addition, seeing the picture on the phone left the knight wildly impressed. He thought about all the helpful possibilities of such a device for the people. Unaware of the knight's internal monologue, the time traveler ran off to take more photos, with the knight running after him to prevent any chaos. Photos of the shopkeepers, the town hall, the knights, and gardens all were taken until the sky grew dark and the lamps turned on. With the knight as guard, in the end there wasn't a single person nearby that didn't get their selfie taken. The next day, the word got out that the time traveler had a new device that made pictures unbelievably quick, and that it stole your soul. And this rumor spread like wildfire, so it didn't take much time for it to reach the ears of the queen. The queen summoned them to her throne room, wanting to hear some sort of explanation. This wasn't their first encounter with the queen. The time traveler was a welcome guest of the land, and she knew devices were brought in on a daily basis. Superstitious rumors were also pretty common when unusual things entered the collective consciousness, and yet, she wasn't worried at all. She liked seeing things for herself and making her own decisions. Happy to explain, the time traveler went into a full presentation on the cell phone and what it did, as well as what a selfie was, actually. It was a good opportunity for the knight as well, since his questions about the device weren't answered before. The queen sensed that the guards around her were worried, since it was a powerful device that they believed could be powered by black magic. However, after the time traveler took a selfie with one of the guards, it was determined that the phone was not dangerous, which meant something very thrilling for the time traveler: the opportunity to take a selfie with the queen. After many selfies, the perfect one was taken, and the photo was shown to the queen. She was just as impressed as the knight was. She was so impressed, in fact, that she immediately called the royal painter to come and paint a replica of the selfie. When finished, it was hung in the throne room for all to see for generations to come. And Special thanks to my Raccoon Snacks patrons, Anna Gaylord, Aglay, Kim Meyer, and S. Marie Carlson. Thank you so much.